Hey guys, it's Sarah here. Welcome back to my channel. So first, please excuse my voice if it sounds a little I'm just getting over a cold and I tried to wait until I sounded better to film this and I feel like I'm kind of in the clear today, so we're gonna roll with it. Today's video I posted about on social media. I wanted to do another sobriety Q&A type video. I wanted to answer your guys' questions. I always get a lot of questions in the comments on Instagram, on YouTube, and my DMs, and I really wanted to give a chance for you guys to ask me things that you wanted to know about my sobriety, getting sober, how being sober changes your life, living sober, all things that you guys wanted to know and were curious about. So I put out a call on social media. I've got questions straight from you guys off of my accounts, and I'm just going to be answering them. This is a very chill video. It's Sunday. I don't have much makeup on, but I wanted to do this really casual, really laid back, and just kind of have a Q&A conversation about living sober. So if you guys want to hear all of that in this video, first of all, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below on YouTube, and then you can go ahead and keep on watching. So if you guys have been following me for a while on social media, you probably are aware that I am over 2 years sober now. I recently, a couple months ago, self-published my book, Sober as I will have everything linked down below if you guys want to check this out or order it or purchase it. I always appreciate it a ton. You guys have no idea. You've been so supportive, and I love seeing people connect and reach out. I love hearing from you guys to hear that you've connected with the book. I love seeing your screenshots and pictures that you send to me. It makes my heart so full. Thank you again for everyone that has gone onto Amazon and left a review for the book. If you have not, they are greatly appreciated. I believe I have 17 so far, but 18 maybe, I don't know. But if you have not, please go leave a review just so other people can see what you thought about it if they are kind of on the fence about ordering. But basically, this was when I hit the end of 2 years, when everything really came full circle for me. I've really enjoyed sharing it with everyone. I really wanted to do another video, kind of like a chit chat, sharing more with you guys, because a ton of people have reached out to me connecting to the experience I went through and asking me questions and looking for guidance since I've published the book. So I thought this would be a really cool way to reach out. I posted on Instagram, on Facebook, to get the questions you guys wanted to hear me talk about on YouTube, and I'm going to answer your questions right now. So I'm literally just going to start pulling them up on my phone and reading them off as I answer, so let's get into it. So one of the first questions I got was, do you ever drink non-alcoholic beer or wine? Just curious as to your experience. I've debated it myself, but figured it would lead to no good, so I just avoided it. Myself personally, I haven't gone out and hunted down non-alcoholic beer or wine. Initially, no way. When I was first starting out, I was still getting comfortable with things. I didn't really want to chance it or play with fire. For some people, I feel like that could be kind of a gateway into almost playing with fire, going back to things you're familiar with. So for some people, and I can't speak for everyone, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional, but for me now, I can definitely go out to a Mexican restaurant and have a virgin margarita. I've done it several times within the past year. And I think as long as you're at a good place in your sobriety and you know you have the willpower to not get an intense craving or a temptation from doing so, I think people can do that are in recovery or are recovered addicts. For myself personally, where I am at now, 2 years in, really settled and stable and comfortable with everything, I can enjoy a margarita with no alcohol in it. People at a restaurant sometimes look at me like I'm crazy, like you just want the margarita mix, and I'm like, yes, bring me my virgin margarita, please. Sometimes I even tell them I'm pregnant if they're really giving me a hard time about it, because then they're like, oh, okay, never mind. But yes, I personally can do that. Can everyone do that? That's basically kind of specific to the person, I think, since everyone's journey is a little bit different. So another question, and this is one I get all the time, is do you ever have the urge to drink? There's times when I'm out, I'm not going to lie, and everyone's having a good time and just kind of chilling and having beers or wine that I think I do kind of miss that sometimes. Am I super upset or depressed about it? No, I wouldn't say that at all. I've gotten to the mind frame that I know I can have a good time without alcohol and I don't need it, and I know I'm in a better place without it. So for me, it makes me feel good to know that I can still enjoy my life without it. So I think more the act of drinking as a social thing, sometimes I kind of have the urge oh, that would be fun still, but I never get the urge to where it's uncomfortable anymore. I definitely did earlier on in my sobriety, but now that I'm at a more comfortable, settled place with it, I don't really get the urge as much. And like I said, it almost ties more into a social aspect than an actually getting drunk aspect for me, because I'm just at a place where I don't really have the desire to get drunk anymore. What keeps you sober? What keeps me sober really is my renewed faith in my life, in God, in people, in relationships. If you guys have read the book or followed my story at all, you know that I was in a pretty traumatic experience. I could have lost my life. So for me, that is what keeps me sober, knowing that for some reason, I am here right now, breathing, speaking to you guys, when there's a really good chance that I couldn't have been. So for me, having the second chance and having that something kept me around, something kept me alive, is not something I want to take for granted, nothing I want to not appreciate or be thankful or grateful for. And so I've just kind of made a vow to myself that I'm going to live every day that I have happy, healthy, and doing the best I can, experiencing as much as I can, loving as much as I can, living as much as I can, because I almost lost that opportunity. And so that is really what keeps me sober. That, and also seeing how much my life has changed for the better, seeing where I'm at now and how happy I am, that's the thing that keeps me sober, is kind of reflecting how I was when I was drinking and looking at how I am now, and just seeing how much better things have really gotten for me. All the things I've been able to accomplish. The book itself kind of holds me accountable, and seeing how I've been able to help others and give others hope and something to relate to in their journey. That is another huge thing that keeps me sober, is knowing that I can make a difference to so many people. And the reason is my sobriety. That is the reason why I'm doing this. That's the reason I'm talking to you guys right now. It's the reason for everything really in my life now. So that is what keeps me sober. How hard has it been? If you guys watched my journey, like the first 2 years sucked. I'm not gonna lie. I was very naive, very optimistic. I thought it was going to be easy. It was very hard, but I think the hardest parts for me were emotional and mental. And it was not really the act of drinking that was hard for me to quit, but it was more so dealing with a lot of the emotional and mental things that I was blocking out with my drinking. Getting to a place where I have healthy relationships with men again. I'm in a wonderful relationship now. I couldn't be more happy about it. And it was hard for me to get to a place to see what I needed and deserved and stop letting people treat me wrong. So that was really, really hard for me, but I had to go through that to get where I am now. So the things that I definitely had to work through, underlying issues in myself, with my self-worth, self-destructive habits, things like that were harder to get past and deal with than the actual drinking itself. I had to change everything about my life. I had to change the people in my life. I lost people, I gained people. The change itself, the journey, was definitely the hardest part. Putting down the drink itself really wasn't the hard part for me. It was everything else that came along with it. How has it changed your life? So I've been over that a few times in this video already, I feel like. But yeah, everything in my life is different. It's better, it's happy, it's healthy. I just feel like the sky is the limit for me now. I have such potential to accomplish such things, and I have such a new love for life and experiences and living each day to the full potential and not wasting a day that I have, not being happy, not being healthy, and not doing things that I love to do. Do you consider yourself to be a, quote, alcoholic? I think that I am definitely a type of alcoholic from what I experienced. I was definitely more of a binge drinker. To me, there's really no cookie cutter definition for an alcoholic, because everybody's issues and everybody's relationships with alcohol can vary so much from person to person. One person may be a functioning alcoholic that drinks every morning. Someone may be someone that just binges on the weekends like I did. There's so many different relationships with alcohol, and it's hard to pinpoint it. I definitely was dealing with some aspects of alcoholism, I'm not gonna lie, for sure. But like I said, it's hard for me to classify someone as an alcoholic because everybody's path is different, everybody's journey is different. If you have an issue with alcohol, I think you're somewhat in a branch of some type of alcoholic. You may not be full blown. You may just have a different version of it than what some people are used to seeing, which makes it hard for a lot of people to classify themselves as an alcoholic or suffering with alcoholism or an alcohol problem. And that's what made it really hard for me to get help for a long time, because I didn't see myself as being an alcoholic. And if you read my book and you kind of see like how I was living, like I was bringing a lot of problems into my life, mentally, emotional, physical, from alcohol, and it was interfering with my life. And I feel like whenever alcohol takes on that role of interfering with your everyday life and how you live, that you are dealing with some type of alcohol issue. If you're not comfortable calling yourself an alcoholic yet, then by all means don't, but just kind of be aware that you're dealing with something. It took me a long time to be able to accept that idea and to be fully comfortable with classifying myself as being some sort of an alcoholic. Do you find yourself uncomfortable in situations where alcohol is around? This is actually funny because this actually was brought up last night while I was in a situation around alcohol. So I feel like this is a really good question to tackle because a lot of people do wonder if I can be around it, if I'm going to be okay. And I'm going to kind of tie this into the current situation in my life right now because it is a question that has been asked lately. So I'm in a new relationship. I'm dating someone. While he's respectful of it around me, he doesn't get wasted in front of me or throw it in my face or anything like that. I never expect him to stop drinking just because I don't drink. I know he drinks socially. I know he has friends that drink, and it's my decision, not everyone else's. I don't expect everyone else to stop drinking just because I'm in a place. Like, I'm not going to burst into flames if I'm by alcohol or anything like that. So last night, for example, was the Mayweather-McGregor fight, and I went to meet all of his friends for the first time, like literally the whole group. And obviously, you've got a bunch of late 20s, early 30s aged men and women watching a fight. There's going to be drinking. So I knew walking into it there was going to be alcohol there. It didn't bother me. I knew I was walking into it, and I've gotten to a place now where I'm okay being around it because realistically in life, if I can't avoid every situation where there's alcohol, alcohol's everywhere. So now that I'm in a place where I can be around it and it doesn't make me uncomfortable and I've kind of accepted it, it's almost a good test of my willpower to show that I can be around it and be okay, which I kind of like because it reassures me that I'm doing good, I'm doing fine, I'm able to be in front of it, and I'm strong enough to not need it. Anyways, the girlfriend of someone at the party that I had just met kind of mentioned, like, yeah, we were all kind of wondering how it would be with you being here. We know you wrote a book about being sober and all this stuff, and like, we didn't know if you would be uncomfortable or how this would be for you. And, I just kind of explain it the way I always do is, I'm fine around it. I never want to miss out on anything in life just because I don't drink. And this is a perfect situation. Of course I want to watch this fight. Of course I wanted Conor McGregor to win. I was meeting my boyfriend's friends for the first time. And, it was a fun night. And did I want to sit at home and not do any of this just because there was going to be alcohol there? Absolutely not. I still had a great time, met these people, had fun. Were people there drunk? Yes. Was there a lot of alcohol? Yes. But, I had my water. I was talking with people, getting to know people, having a good time, watching the fight. And it was a really good night. And, I even told my boyfriend, I know you're probably going to get a little bit drunk and I'm probably going to be driving us back. But overall, had a good night, had a good time. Like I said, I could sit at home and, shelter myself and I don't want to be there because there's alcohol, or I could use it as a way to show that I'm strong enough to be around it, still have a good time, still show people that just because someone's sober doesn't mean you have to be walking on eggshells or uncomfortable or you can't say or do certain things in front of them. It's definitely something in someone's life that makes things a little bit different, but it's not like you need to exclude us from things. We still want to be a part of everything. We still want to live our lives and have a good time. So that was just a really good example for me of that question. I definitely still am in situations around alcohol willingly. I'm just at a place where I'm comfortable with it, but it's unrealistic for me to think that I'm going to never be around alcohol. Alcohol is everywhere. Let's be honest. I think as long as it's always in a respectful way and no one is, making condescending comments or coming down on you about it or saying horrible things about it and being supportive of you, that I don't think there's anything wrong with being in situations if you're around friends and family that may be drinking, as long as you're at a place that you are comfortable with it and you are feeling good about it because you want to always put yourself first. If you are very early on in sobriety, that may not be something you are ready for yet. In the beginning, I know I struggled with that a lot, but now I am okay with it. What is something that has helped you get through the hard times during your sobriety? I write a lot about this in the book, actually, but I turned to a lot of things that were healthy replacements for alcohol for me and partying. I love to cook. I love to read and write, obviously. I love audiobooks. I love music. I got really into working out and fitness. I absolutely love traveling. And if you guys follow my stuff, you know that. I travel a lot. I just got back from Maine with my boyfriend. We had an amazing trip, and I had wanted to go to Maine since I got sober. And just going places, seeing new things makes me so happy. So, traveling has been huge for me. But really, you've just got to find things. And I know in the beginning of my sobriety, some other people might be able to relate to this. You almost get obsessive about the thing that you first replace it with. I feel like that happens for a lot of people. I threw myself into work. And I've done really well with it, obviously. I've accomplished a lot of things, but you tend to hone in on something like health or fitness or anything like that and really get into it at first. I mean, that's not a bad thing. It definitely gives you something to focus on, but I think it's really important for people who are in recovery or trying to get sober to find other things that are going to fill the parts of you that you may feel like are missing when you cut out alcohol and you cut out drugs and partying. For me, I needed some serious self-love when I got sober. So for me, the whole act of shopping for food and cooking myself a good meal became very self-care for me. Working out became a very big act of self-love for me as well. I tried to replace alcohol with things that were healthy and positive because it would have been really easy to slip into, like smoking cigarettes or something like that, something else that was like a vice. So I tried to always find things that were really positive, really healthy, spending time with people, and things that make you feel good, make you feel whole, make you feel nourished. I'm writing a lot about this in my second book. There are a couple chapters about this, just to give you guys like a little clue in. And I'm hoping to have it out before the holidays, but there's a lot of writing in the next book I'm doing about self-love, self-care, how to like date yourself, and finding soul food, things that kind of nourish your soul the way like soul food home cooking does. They nourish you physically, they nourish you mentally. It's just finding things that kind of fill you in that way and cure your hunger, if you will. If you want to look at it as like a food approach, like curing the hunger you have for happiness, for comfort, for love in your life. So it's definitely a new way of approaching things, but that is something that has made it huge for me that I will be sharing a lot with you guys in the next book. So if you guys are not subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button because, of course, I will be sharing a video on here when that book is finished and released, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. So while we're on the topic, one of the questions I received was, I saw you post something in your Insta story about a second book. What is the book going to be about? So I don't want to share everything. I've shared a few little things on Instagram about it, but after I finished writing Sober as Fuck, I missed writing so much. Like writing became such a soul food thing for me that it made me feel good. It was like my own personal therapy. I just loved it because I discover so much about myself as I'm writing because I write about the things I'm actually going through. So the second book that I'm writing, I'm super excited. It's basically focusing on how to find true inner happiness in yourself. True inner happiness, things you can change and do in your life so that we're not always looking to outside things like sex, alcohol, drugs, anything like that to make us truly happy. Things like money, things like material objects. Obviously, this is something that is very common in everyone's lives. This is what we were born with. This is what we've grown up with. This is what we know. But yeah, I'm sharing a ton in this book about kind of what I did in my low points in getting sober and what I'm still continuing to do to make my life the best life, to have as much true inner happiness as I can. So I'm covering a ton of topics in it about purging your life, the things you don't need in it anymore, identifying the things that are not positive and not good for you to make your life better. I'm going to talk a lot about self-love, how I practice it in my own life and how you can practice it in yours, how to date yourself, which is one that I have loved this past year because I've been single the past year up until recently, and dating myself was a way that I kept my life exciting, gave me things to look forward to when I was kind of in a funk or not feeling great. I talk a lot about not fixating on things like money, fame, or success to dictate who you are or if you're happy. So really, it's just going to be a whole book kind of honing in on how to look at your life, break it down, and make the changes in your own life to find your own true, authentic inner happiness on your own. Obviously, there are outside factors that are going to contribute to that, other people, other things, but the whole basis is really going to be finding happiness within yourself and how you can do that and how to practice it in your everyday life to make the changes so that you are living your best, happiest, healthiest, most exciting, most positive life you possibly can, which is the idea I've come out of my 2 years sober with. I want to live every day that I have left happy, healthy, and doing as much as I can, helping as much as I can, having the most amazing experiences that I can, and that's really what I want to convey to you guys in the second book. So I'm really passionate about it. I'm putting a lot into it, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys because I think it's going to help so many people, whether you are sober or whether you're in recovery or whether you are just looking to have a little extra happiness and positivity in your life. I think so many people will be able to take so many things out of it. So I can't wait to share that with you guys. I think that is a really good note to end this video on, kind of sharing what I've been working on with you guys. But I will keep you posted. Like I said, hopefully that will be out before the holidays. I cannot wait. I feel like so many people will be able to connect with it just because it's something I really connected with in my journey and my own personal development, self-development, and making my life better. So I tried to wrap this up into just like summarizing some of the questions. A lot of them were a little repetitive, the same thing. So I tried to tie it into these basic ideas. But yeah, I'm going to kind of leave this short and sweet because I know you guys don't want to hear me rambling for a half hour about this. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, advice. I love being kind of virtual pen pals with other people that are going through sobriety or starting out their sobriety and kind of sharing things with you and helping people. If you guys want to check out the book, I love everything linked down below so you can buy Sober as I've gotten tons of amazing feedback with people that it's really connected with and really helped them in their journey. So I hope that can be the same for you guys. And I am so excited to share the second book. I will keep you guys posted. Make sure you are following me on all my other social media because I will keep posting things as it is happening on Instagram, on Facebook, on everything. So I'll have everything linked down below per usual. Leave me some comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you guys liked it. Let me know what you thought. I will have my face on the screen here per usual. If you click it, you will be subscribed to my channel. I will also have some other videos you guys can check out as well. But I think that is all I have to say right now. So until next time, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.